When you're falling, I'll be there above all.
And what they look like.
Oh god, that poor Subaru. It's a Lincoln. That poor Lincoln.
Yeah, the poor Lincoln. So these things start walking through the city, and everybody make a perception check. Actually, I'd say everyone who's on a rooftop are like looking out across the rooftops to make a perception check.
I think it'd be up there because
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Whew.
Nope.
Okay. So Scrap and Axiom, on a couple of rooftops nearby, you can see that there are several other things going on. You can see a couple of what looked like adherents who seem to be removing a couple of air conditioning units from the top of buildings. But as they remove them, you can see that there's something underneath, and it looks like they're turning them on.
Oh no. It's
Hmm.
that's the transmitter they've been working on this entire time.
Yes, and you can see as you like look around, you can see on a lot of these buildings, you have these same machines.
Scrapple, he'll kind of like, oh, I can't. Oh, fuck. How big is this earpiece they gave us?
It's not very large. It's like one of those over the ear, like it's inside, but then it goes like over and over the ear.
Okay, Scrap is holding onto it really tightly, and so if anything goes wrong, he can just yank it off.
Okay.
And he's also watching these guys like a hawk.
Yeah. And so as they walk, like the couple of people on the street kind of like run away in fear until until you can see a couple of the adherents flip the switches on the machines, and the sound of the horns are reverberating through the entire city, coming from multiple different sources, all blanketing the city with a massive wall of sound. And you guys, with your earpieces on, aren't really too affected by it, but you can see the people out like running around the street instantly stop, and they're going to start kind of like they're going to turn around and they're going to start walking glassy-eyed and stumbling a little bit towards the walkers. You can see doors open on the streets as people pulling on jackets and shoes start walking out, all with the same strange gait. As they come up to the walkers, you can see adherents gathering around them, each holding a helmet connected by a long wire to the walker. As they put these helmets on, people kind of stiffen, straighten up, and then they start walking at a normal gait as these things go by. Soon you can see each one has dozens, maybe 100 people trailing along behind it in silence as these tones continue to wash over the city.
Scrapple kind of look up towards Firebrand because I'm guessing he's probably much higher up than the top buildings.
Yes.
And he just like, these are the ones that you made a deal with.
98% scrap. What was your plan here for this?
Well,
Gonna go
my
punch
plan
them?
was to destroy them months ago.
That didn't really pan out when we tried it months ago.
Because you didn't help.
I recall
You
right,
let
I
me to
ended up
fight the
facing
shard
on
by
the
myself.
buses.
We could have destroyed the shard. I could have simply just taken the power that they have, and we could have used that to go track down the flesh and obliterate it in its homes. But
I don't think that
instead,
would make them any less ambitious, I'll be honest.
well,
Just maybe a
Thanks,
little bit
gotcha.
more vengeful.
As you guys are talking, you can see down below, there's a hospital nearby, and you can see a couple people are like walking out with their like saline bags on the little trolleys. But you can also see several adherents, including some of the large ones, carrying out the people who look to be too old or frail to walk. So they're like getting everybody. And there's maybe one or two other task guys on the other end of the roof who are also looking down, and they look very uncomfortable. But these
I guess
earpieces seem to
imagine
be doing
that
their
crowd,
thing.
Scrap. Imagine them all trying to get out of the city. Flesh things everywhere. Those things are all around them. I don't think many of those people are gonna live through this.
Well, you have that on your conscience at least.
We'll get them all. We'll save every single one of them. Don't worry.
All right, they're going to move on by, and you can see like bobbing amongst the rooftops, like dozens of these walkers all moving through the city as the adherents from above tend to their machines to keep the whale going. What are you other two guys, Arc Flash and Axiom? Where are you, and what do you make of this?
Well,
You go ahead.
right?
We
What'd
kind of
you
went
say?
over each other, so go ahead, Axiom.
I mean, I guess we're sitting here to respond to whatever the flesh does, right? I mean, yeah, this sucks, but there's really not much we can do about this right now until we get rid of the primary threat.
What do you have to say to that, Arc Flash?
I'm probably zipping around from place to place. I'm just, he's nervous. He's got energy he feels like he's got to burn off, so he's probably, you see him zipping over to different roofs and up different buildings and such, and it just, the whole thing feels wrong, but he can't think of a better way to do anything.
And
This is just so much bigger than him. He's having to take a leap of faith, even though he doesn't trust it.
and he can actually make a insight or perception check as he's zipping around. Insight or perception, whichever's better.
Let's see here. No, definitely going with perception.
Oof.
I can't roll for shit.
So you can tell these walkers are walking around.
Yeah.
But like for the places they pass, there is like nobody left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the city becomes eerily quiet. Like there are no cars on the street, nothing in the air. The trains aren't really running anymore because there's nobody to operate them. And it looks like this whole part of the city is just being drained, and that's going to continue on for another maybe 3 hours. And every once in a while, you see once these walkers fill up, they're going to stride back over towards the breach. And then they're going to return without people to continue collecting more.
No,
I
where
might ask
is
like
the flesh?
what the task teams might be seeing, like where they're taking them for now, and keep up to date on that.
Yeah, so you like signal in, and one of the guys like, yeah, we're up north, pretty near the breach. They got some trucks. They're coming out of the ground. They just keep coming. Look like really, really old models too, because stamp is something I don't recognize. Oh, it smells like they still burn diesel. Jesus. I don't know. They're
Oh
just
gosh,
loading
I
them
remember
in.
that smell.
They're driving them off outside the wall. I don't know where they're taking them. Still got the helmets on though. They just changed the plugs to the trucks.
Right, I see. We'll try to keep an eye on them then. If you can figure out where they're going, that would be fantastic.
All right, we'll see what we can do. Okay.
There's been no sign of the flesh at all.
Nope.
Scrapple just kind of shrug. Maybe it was all a ploy. Teamed up with the flesh. Got a bunch of free new people. All you gotta do is scare the small humans in the city. And they'll just open the gates.
Okay.
If you're right about that, we've already lost. I give
Well,
up. I was never good at chess like this.
we could just go to whatever the American city was and have them nuke the place. I'm sure that'll be a good enough excuse for them.
Well, curse them.
Yeah, they always love their nukes.
Inevitable, but
Well,
Some of that got cut off. What was that?
Never mind.
he said,
Oof.
"Curse your
I'm sorry.
something," but oh no, what is it?
Curse inevitable betrayal.
No, there's curse your blank, but inevitable betrayal. Fuck me. What was it?
Curse your sudden but inevitable.
Sudden.
Awesome. Okay, so this continues until the wee hours of the morning. Until you do see some movement that's not the normal regimented marching of the people behind the walkers. You see something shift in the shadows at the base of a building.
All right.
I think that's our
Kinda-
cue, isn't it?
Kind of focus in on it, but not gonna go jumping at it.
No reason to jump at shadows yet.
Yes, and you can see like something quick and wet looking dart across the street towards into another shadow, and you can see slowly after it 1 or 2 more, and then 5, and then 10.
That's a shadow we need to focus
Until the empty streets below you seem to be swarming. But it's quite dark because none of the lights are on either, so you can barely see what's going on. But what you can tell is, it seems like they've been removing people from the outside inwards, and it seems like they're moving towards the inward part of this section.
So
right.
it's
So towards the last people available to protect here.
Yes.
Well, I think it's time for us to move in.
yeah.
You know, there's one thing that I haven't quite done with Firebrand that he's been capable of doing this entire time.
Exploding.
Bombing runs.
Yeah, you can just strafe.
I can literally strafe them faster than any of them can ever move with. I have move by attack, and I have an AoE that's reasonably large. I can start doing some street clearing while everyone else moves into position.
Mm-hmm.
And that should buy a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm. But by the time you figure that out, you look back over the top, and it looks like the horde is slowed to a trickle in this area. Looks like they've darted back underground. And then you can see across another couple of blocks over, another horde has come up, streams across the street, and then retreats to the ground through storm drains and manholes.
Popping in and out. We just gotta form a perimeter. You guys can get onto that while I try to buy you any time. If they get too close, I can try burning them and give you a few more seconds to set up. So I guess this is where I pass the torch over to you guys and ask, what are you going to do?
Scrap will call up the other teams and see if they see anything.
One of the teams just like, yeah, we've seen some movement around here. We're pulling back towards the main area though, because we're kind of without a lot of support here. Another guy says the same. One of them does not answer, and the fourth one's just like says the same.
I think we need to go over with that one that didn't answer and see if we can slow down things.
Yeah, after the third one doesn't answer, I'll just tell the rest to go faster.
I mean, all right. I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit.
But then
Right,
we
retreat
will
if
head
you
to where
can't.
the
Don't engage unless you're in a good position.
Okay.
people's eyes. We'll start heading to where the third team was.
All right, so you head down towards where the third team was. It was a reinforced police corner that watched over a large square, and you can see from where you are there are a couple of blast marks and some bullet casings, along with a couple of nasty-looking stains. But you can't find anybody.
Not a trace.
Nope.
Well, this is what happens if you get caught out. Just fair warning, there is no body left. And it seems they also took the guns.
Yep.
I thought these things weren't supposed to use weapons. I thought they were just big fleshy thing.
Oh.
I'm
We're
pretty sure
capable
we've
of much more
underestimated
than
them this
just
entire time.
destruction is destruction in his mind. Maybe throw a few bullets at him. You know, they're going to take him anyway. Why not just throw a few holes in him? It's all meat. It's all the same.
Look, okay. Look, we just need we need to get somewhere where we can actually start doing something.
You know where we can start doing something?
Where?
He's going to point his storm drain down.
Okay, well, let's pick a point and start doing.
But there's
That's a
still
terrible
that
idea
central
also.
population.
Oh,
We still need to make sure that they evacuate safely.
Also, the worst idea you could possibly do right now is to go down. Because that's a veritable ocean down there who will eat you. And you will never be able to breathe. It'll just be one moment you're alive, and then you're not. So, for now, let's see. They already took a good chunk of citizens out of the city. There's no way we can go and, as you said, evacuate anyone ourselves. So it's just a matter of holding back the inevitable wave that was once the populace of this city. I'm not sure if anything that we have is up to that.
Well, if we can buy enough time for the adherents to come back and pick up the rest of them, then they should be able to survive, and we can go ahead and flee on our own powers afterwards. So let's try to protect the citizens that are left until they can get out.
All right. Well, where is the
Guess we have
current?
to stand our ground.
Wait, where do we have an evacuation order going elsewhere? Right, we're not leaving this entirely up to the adherents. We could just put them on boats and put them in the middle of the channel.
If I recall, we're in the Berg/Privnity, so we're not necessarily adjacent to the water.
You're not bringing the water right now.
Well,
Like
we had a whole
you're near the
day
river.
to move people towards the coast. And there's more to the city than just Privnity.
What I imagine is that, at least, hear me out if this may or may not be reality. Task has probably arranged some amount of evacuation of their own, and probably is more capable of arranging the ocean side of it. So anyone closer to that side probably has evacuated already.
Yes, they do have the ability to move everybody out via the river.
And everyone who's evacuated closer to like the border has been evacuated by the adherents, and we're kind of left with the people in the middle who haven't gotten anywhere yet.
Yes, probably 80% of the people who have been evacuated have been done so by the adherents, 20% by task via the river. And then you have maybe, out of the total, maybe 90% have been evacuated, but there's still 10% left.
Well, this is going to be a very, very bloody fight. We just have to find out, I think what they'll do is after they clean out the city, they'll just pop out and obliterate everything else. So we just have to wait. Or we go down and die.
So where do we wait? Back at the task base?
Wherever. It all ends up the same.
Well, there is the pocket of like the 10% left that they're moving in on.
Yeah, that's where Firebrand is going to go.
Yeah.
Well, we can head there as fast as we can, but
The Berg is not the largest part of the city. You could probably get there not too much time. Like, take maybe like 20 minutes to get there. So is that what you're doing?
Arc Flash,
Yep,
go
yep.
ahead. Everyone else, go ahead. I'll be with our guys. If anything goes wrong, you'll be the first to know.
Okay. So when you get to the area that the last bits are coming through, you can see that there are some sort of makeshift barricades that have been set up. And you can see manning the tops of them are a mix of task boys, adherents, and one or two city security members that are just kind of watching the street, the like empty, foggy streets beyond. And inside you can see the walkers are collecting up the last of the people. But pretty much everybody is silent and apprehensive as you guys arrive. You can also see B and C team have also made their way back down to here. And they're just kind of boots on the ground trying to help organize people before whatever's coming arrives.
Right. So they seem to have that in hand. Firebrand's gonna leave it to it, and of course, like turn back around and give like a thumbs up to Lucius.
He gives it back.
And then he turns back around and he's going to be like 1 foot like up on like whatever the barricades are, just waiting for something to pop up.
Okay. So as you kind of look out over the streets, they're empty of all people. You start to hear and feel a terrible scurrying. As you look out, you can see movement in the shadows as things start to coalesce around corners and come out through the cracks and holes in the ground. Like the guys on the barricades start kind of shifting nervously as they begin to pour out of doorways on ground floors of buildings, up out of any unsealed tunnels, and a couple even fall from the upper floors above. This horrible, mangled mass of limbs and meat kind of starts whirling and turning in on itself down in front of you until finally it rises up to a great height of bodies and limbs and flesh and organs. And then it breaks apart and runs screaming, howling, and flailing down the street directly towards you. They are here.
And Firebrand will, of course, hold up a flag that he suddenly seems to have and just kind of point it forward and go, attack!
Okay.
Don't charge this.
Not charge. Definitely not saying charge. I almost said charge.
Okay, so as these guys are approaching, you scream attack, and the whole barricade is lit up with fire, and you can see the front forms of these fleshes just start to go down real quick. But of course, that doesn't really stop them. They just get trampled over by the rest of them as they just start pouring down the street. They get closer and closer, 60 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet. And then a couple of them...
Once they start like getting closer and closer, the body's coming, Firebrand creates some flammable oil. And we'll light that on fire as they start to cross over that barrier.
You must have
Okay.
been great in sieges.
So they start to cross over that barrier, and just as you're lighting the fire and just as they're charging, you feel a drop of water on your head. You look up, and a bolt of lightning cracks through the sky, and it starts to rain. Not very hard, but it is raining.
You should have made napalm.
It's okay. Fate never liked taking it easy on me.
Okay.
Guys, as soon as that happened, Arc Flash disappears.
Oh, well, he had a good run, I guess.
No, it's just like, oh shit, and then poof, he's somewhere else undercover.
Yeah, Firebrand
running
like
around with an umbrella.
mentally notes, but then doesn't say anything and tries to avoid bringing anyone else's attention to it at all.
Oof. Okay. So they are going to start trampling over them. Some of the bottom ones are on, do go into the flames and do catch on fire, but they are pretty quickly smothered by the ones on top of them. They start clawing their way up the barricade. And this is not looking too good. But as this is happening all around you, because this is kind of like a ring formation, you can tell on other streets this same thing is happening as you can hear the sounds of battle from throughout this section of the city. Now, at this point, it is pretty much a cutscene. This is too big to be a regular battle. So I'm going to go through each of you, and I'm going to ask to describe what it is exactly you are doing as they start smashing through these barricades and fighting is erupting on the streets.
Let's see here. What would Scrap be doing? He probably would have yanked out, street light, power, or, telephone pole, giant hunk of wall from the side of a building, and to just bring it across from one side to the other of a road, of like one of the roads, just sweeping back and forth. Eventually, I would think that doesn't work out anymore because it just breaks.
Yeah.
And so he's just laying into him. All four arms are just flailing about, just whirlwind, dervish of death.
Yeah, they're going flying all over the place. Every once in a while, a big one comes in and you exchange a couple of blows before you just suplex it into oblivion. Who's next? Who wants to describe what's going on next?
Let's do it. You can do it.
I'll do Firebrand.
All right.
Firebrand is, of course, standing on top, quote, holding the line with his flag. He is, of course, trying to be big and inspiring as always, but his main power usage at the moment is going to be continually repairing and expanding the barricades to make them continually stronger and harder to break through, undoing any damage done, and dropping off little bits of extra magazines of ammo for everyone who's firing.
Nice. So like from a bird's eye view, it would seem that most of the other ones are being overrun a little bit, but Firebrand's does seem to be standing up a bit better than most. Who else? Axiom, what are you getting up to in this melee?
I guess I'll be doing a combination of Mystic Blasts and like healing touches on anyone who needs it.
Doing some combat duty, some combat medic duty. Yeah, so every once in a while, a guy gets either gets bashed from the wall and luckily does not get pulled into the seething horde, and you're able to get him back up and away from the fighting, as well as popping a few heads with that magic missile. And arc flash, as you're kind of in and out of the rain.
Yeah.
Somebody comes up next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to move over to a different one right now because you have some characters on this one. So someone comes up next to you. It is this. Sorry, let me make sure I can send this. It is this person. She's going to kind of bunker down next to you, and she's going to shout through your mask, "Oh, you don't like the rain, huh?"
The image didn't show up.
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Oh, like this one's not here?
Nope.
Is there a gap? Oh no.
Nope, don't see anything either.
Shit. Can you see the other three though?
It's
Nope.
an invisible person.
I don't see nothing.
What? Impossible.
The ghosts are here. We've all died.
Oh shit, that's why, because I moved myself and I forgot to move you again. Okay. All right.
So let me guess, it's the third one that's...
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
she
fine.
says that, and I just kind of grimace and hold up my hand where it shows a few burns where way I see it, I've shot out. I would shoot out, maybe hit somebody or drag somebody back or something like that, and then get back under cover. But I'm still getting burnt here and there.
Yep. And she's gonna kind of look you up and down for a second. She's like, all right, I get it. And I'd be able to help with that. She cracks her knuckles, raises one hand over you, does a movement, and you can see a very, very, very faint shimmering shield come around your body. And she's gonna just gesture outside.
All right.
No excuses now.
I stick my arm out into the rain. Does the rain still hit me?
The rain gets within maybe 1 centimeter of your skin, and then it looks like it hits something and goes around.
Thank God. Thank you very much. Now I can actually feel like I can do something, and poof, I'm gone.
Okay. And how are you handling things?
Mostly what I see I'm doing is breathe. Anybody who looks like they're getting ready to come over the barriers and something like that, I'm suddenly there and hitting them, making them fall back.
Mm-hmm.
Since I can get around to so many places easily.
Mm-hmm. As you're moving around, you can see that Lucius also seems to be on breach duty. He has a bunch of what looks like city security in full riot gear that are moving around in a phalanx, plugging up holes.
The old training coming back, huh?
He's just screaming, chopping something in half.
All right, so.
And that's your plan. Okay. And that's what Lucia's doing. And you also see this red-suited individual. I don't actually know who this is.
Oh, I do.
Yep. But he is moving around, teleporting through the crowds that managed to get through. And he is just like, he's just touching them. And he's just teleporting parts of them away. It's like he'll just go through, teleport something in half, keep moving through. And it is quite quick and frightening to see. But unfortunately, as you guys are trying to hold them back, you can see the left side is beginning to collapse, and you can see the wall get smashed through by one of the hulking fleshes, throwing people through the air like rag dolls and smashing directly through the concrete and sandbag barricade. To which you can see everyone kind of starts to scatter as this huge thing starts mowing through this back line. But you can see, right as it's coming through, you can see Vodern come up, turn up to it, as it is just about to rip her head off, quickly size up to about 30 feet tall, and fucking powerbomb it.
Nice.
So things are going pretty well until they aren't. You
That's
guys
usually how
have
it
been
works
doing
out.
pretty well, but your guys are starting to run out of ammunition. They're getting pushed back off the barricades, closer into the center of the city, where you can see the last few people being hooked. They're closing in so much now that there might not be an easy way to escape. And now, as you keep fighting, you hear some terrifically loud booming sounds, and you can see streaks of fire not streaks of fire, like tracers start to come out from the back lines of the flesh swarm. And they start landing amongst your people, scattering them even more.
We're gonna need to fall back.
Yeah, and people at the front are actually starting to rout, even on Firebrand Street.
Yeah, Firebrand is helping them pull back, and we'll try signaling for everyone to continue retreating back. And once they're behind a certain line, he will just pull up the biggest barricade he can to just buy time for everyone to keep moving.
Yeah, I'm yelling at everyone to be like, hey, no, organized retreat, suppressing fire. And I have this ability that allows me to cast like billowing darkness. So I guess I could use that to cover our retreat.
Mm-hmm. So as you're trying to organize everybody, let me see here. Just make a presence check.
Cure presence.
It's not too effective. People are just kind of fleeing in general. Firebrand side's doing a bit better though. They're definitely a bit more organized, and there are fewer people getting shoved to the ground and left behind.
All right, I still use my billowing darkness to cover our retreat.
All right, and your billowing darkness does seem to be effective. The flashes that run into it seem to be quite confused on where everything went. But back in the back line, as you guys kind of start retreating, you can see what was firing these things, these kind of horrible, mangled abominations of flesh and metal. You can see from gaping mouths and welded onto stumpy arms, you can see firearms that are belching lead towards your own dudes.
Scrap just kind of appears with the rest of the group, just absolutely covered in gore and blood. Like, can't even see his skin anymore despite the rain. Just kind of hanging on. It's gross.
Ugh.
Yeah. He's like, what? What happened?
They're launching him. And I
What?
point to the things in the back.
Well, then let's go destroy them.
Can we
Surgical strike, then.
think we can cut our way through it?
Shit, man. Sorry, everything cut out for me for a second. What was that? What did everyone just say?
Surgical strike.
And I'm saying, think we can cut through it safely?
Cut
Sure.
through. I'm carrying you.
Got through
He
Gary.
literally scoops you up. Sorry, Scrap,
Okay.
you're on your own this time. I'm sure you can get through fine. We'll catch up.
Scrap with it. Oh, jeez. All right. Then Scrap's gonna start. He's gonna teleport above and then slam down, above, slam down.
Nice. And
Gonna
so
take some time.
as you're going through like that, so things like as you kind of start pressing your way through or flying above, things are looking quite grim. It looks like in a number of places you are being absolutely slaughtered as they push closer and closer towards the center until you hear a guy down below say, they're behind us! They're behind us! And everyone turns around and you can see them emerging from the ground inside the perimeter. People now are in an absolute panic.
We don't have a chopper anymore, do we?
You have helicopter gunships that are actually above at this point, but they are starting to be shot down now. And as you guys are going through, trying to fly above and trying to ground pound your way to these firing creatures, you can see one of what looks like a barrage of shots fly over your head and impact a building that is overlooking this square as it starts to collapse downwards. And at the same time, it looks like Lucius and his phalanx have been disrupted quite heavily and are getting beaten down pretty bad. And for each of you, a bad thing happens.
For each of us, a bad thing happens.
So Scrap, on one of your teleports downwards, one of them managed to grab hold of your ankle, tripping you onto the ground, after which they start piling onto you, and you are trapped under this enormous mound of scything, gnawing bodies. Firebrand, as you're flying over with you have like arc flash in your
Yeah.
You're flying over with arc flash. One of the things below points its mouth gun at you and manages to wing you in actually one of your, because you have flight wings, right?
I have actual physical wings that continually appear and reappear suddenly for some reason nobody ever notices.
Yes.
God.
So it actually hits you in the wing, and this horrible goop that was inside the shell binds your wings, sending you plummeting towards the ground. Arc Flash, you are knocked from his arms and land on a rooftop nearby. And as you look up, you can see a horrible scything thing ready to chop your block off. Axiom, you are doing well getting your guys to retreat until out of the darkness that you cast, a number of grasping tendrils come out, wrapping you around the ankles and dragging you towards a horrible biting maw. Everything seems lost. Our heroes are done for certain. Until
everyone dies. I'm done running this game. Bye.
F you all, I'm out of here.
Time for a commercial break.
So, Firebrand, as you're falling, you hear the rush of rocket boots, and somebody grabs the back of your collar. So he grabs back your collar and kind of gets you up into a fireman's hold, and you can identify what this armor is. Looks like a goddamn whap.
Wow.
We did steal a bunch of whaps.
Mm-hmm. It grasps you around the middle, and with the other hand is just blasting away at the flesh below you. He comes down and he deposits you on a rooftop nearby. And he's like, "Let's get this stuff off you." He kind of grabs all the goop and he tears it off of you. In the meantime,
tears off the wing.
Gosh, it's like pulling wax off.
And
agitation.
And Arc Flash, as you're up above, about to be scythed apart by this horrible beast, its arm comes down and is grabbed by a thick robotic arm, which then tears it off and kicks the thing off the side of the building. You recognize one of the Children of Liberty robotic armed fighters. And she looks down at you and holds out the robotic hand.
Oh, there's a hesitation, but he ends up reaching up and grabs the arm and allows himself to be helped back up to his feet.
Okay. And Axiom, as you are getting dragged towards this horrible maw, a extremely sharp black sword comes and severs both of them. And a couple hands drag you backwards, and you can see one of the Ordrist retainers has come to your rescue. Finally, Scrap, you feel the horrible pile on top of you get grabbed and torn away, and you can turn around to see the Shard has just come to your rescue.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
And it's going to hold out its hand for you to get back up.
I'll bash it away. I'll stand up on my own 2 feet.
It's going to turn without making any mention of that. And as you guys look around, you can see there are whaps coming down from the sky. There are more helicopters coming in from parts of the inner city, and you can see trucks arriving full of Children of Liberty troops. It looks like the gang's all here.
Oh yeah.
We're not done yet.
And over the intercom, you can hear Carrere going, "It's about goddamn time! Thought they'd never get done deliberating and come help our asses." And it looks like now the fight hasn't turned yet, but it is not looking nearly so grim. Now you have Task, the Ordris, the Adherents, Children of Liberty, and Mordhau fighting side by side against the Flesh.
Firebrand's gonna like do an arm grab, much like he did with Lucius a moment ago with the Hwap guy that just saved him.
Yeah. Like he's gonna respond with the arm grab, but with the other hand, he's gonna point at you and he's like, "You're still wanted in at least 6 jurisdictions, but that's gonna have to wait now, huh?" And it's gonna slap you on the shoulder.
Kill me later. Let's get all these guys first.
All right, he's gonna jet back off again, and it looks like the fight is now somewhat more even. But as the fighting goes on, all of you who have been deposited in vaguely the same place are once again smashed into another street by another large explosion, and now we're actually going to get to the battle map, because this is small enough to actually have a battle on.
Woo yeah.
Ah, the darkness.
Yes.
The darkness, my old friend.
Okay, so you guys are deposited around here.
Let me go ahead and get that sexy
There we go.
Firebrand token up there. Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, squares.
And
Okay.
I'll roll my initiative. I think a 15 guarantees I'll be last, so
Probably.
Nope.
Holy crap!
We
wow,
are both.
you can have
Even the
shit tonight.
speedster is. I mean, I have an excuse.
I
Time
rolled
to
a
actually
2.
run to the restroom real fast, so I'll be right back.
14, I'll mark that down. Let me see here. Okay. So as of right now, you guys have been knocked into a street where it looks like the fighting is much less severe, but you can still hear it happening very nearby. And it looks like these guys are a little bit shell-shocked. They don't really know what to do. And on the right over here, you can see there's a couple more groups of guys who are coming up from another area. So it looks like you got a nice gang here on this corner.
oh yeah. And down the street. I think we were heading towards like the launcher things, weren't we?
Yes, you were. And they
Yeah.
are to the north.
All right, it's time for us to form up a push.
Okay. So let me just get in the turns for these other boys. I'm just going to mark these guys down in clumps. It's going to be this clump. Shit. I forgot to click the thing. There we go. Wow!
Gee, since when did I ever go first?
And we're going to get his. All right.
Oh boy,
15.
here we go. Long ass combat time.
Yep. It's
Hey.
time. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit myself, just so I can have a look at everything. Move that turn order. Okay. So everyone's right now is just kind of wondering what exactly we should do.
Murder.
Murder.
We're gonna form up.
All right.
Actually, wait a second. I want to check something.
The adherents don't have guns or anything, do they?
They actually have some sort of firearm that are built into their forearms.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the lead of the group and have them form up behind me.
All right. So they're gonna. You seem to know what you're doing, so they're gonna start forming up.
So if we need to like do initiative or anything on this, he's just spending his time making sure they're organized then.
All right. Well, not you don't really need to use initiative for that because nobody's really arrived yet. But you're gonna start. But you're going to direct your attention upwards to the north.
Absolutely.
Okay. So looking up here,
Oh.
you see 3 people,
3.
and we're gonna.
Terrible number.
So we are going to.
It is what the orc just rolled. I can agree that they are terrible, so it all works out.
You see 3 people standing on a huge pile of dead fleshes. And they are revealed. One of them has a large jingling backpack. Another has a fishing cap full of paraphernalia. Another one has a huge arm that looks like she's been fighting for 10 years.
The only person to ever kill me, ignoring the other ones.
And it looks like they're clapping some serious flesh. But you can see another horde descending upon them. A massive horde.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
Do you got what it takes to save the goon squad?
No, they're dead, son.
I was afraid for a bit. I thought we'd never see them again.
All right, it's your initiative.
All right, wait, let me start. Remember, so this is the one that beat up Firebrand in the place.
Mm-hmm.
What were the what this? What,
This one was on the boat, and we threw him into the water, I think, or sunk
Yeah,
his boat.
this guy was the boatman who you interrogated, and he thought he had a great disguise with the hat, and he like reappeared once. And this is just silverware.
This
Oh,
the
God,
that
dude.
guy
From session 1.
Yeah.
that man
whose
lived
partner
for 2
was
years.
whose partner was the one that
If
kept
you ever wanted
resisting.
to know where the Children of Liberty started, it was stealing silverware at an auction.
Yep.
And getting turned into beef stroganoff.
Yep.
So, I'm just gonna double check what my ranges are. AoE cone 60. I'm pretty sure I can fly up here and hit a lot.
Yes.
You also,
Question is
you
how
also
much of a lot. I can be
You
in
can go over
literally
here.
any position I want to be up there.
go right here, dude.
Here? Yeah, this seems like the most efficient place for a cone. We go like 60 feet this way. I think I hit literally everything.
And everything just gets
what do
4
you
degrees
think?
immediately.
I think like everything except this one would probably get hit.
Yeah.
Actually,
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and click the button
Do we
and
have a-
Oh,
like
do we
Do you
not
have
That's
a
sort of
cone template?
All right. And give me 1 second. I just gotta make sure I got all these guys in because I revealed the thing before I actually did it because I'm a
Of course.
moron. All right.
And I guess I'll announce that afterwards. I probably will retreat because I will be vulnerable after that.
Oof. All right.
Nice seeing you guys.
Yeah.
Later.
I hope there's. I hope I burn everything. Bye.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and like set up here for a second.
And wish that's in there. Okay. Oh. All right. So that guy's gonna go directly after you because he just got revealed. Okay, so let's
Just-
see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
The pizza triangle.
It's
Mm.
on fire, by the way.
It's very hot pizza right out of the oven. Do not touch.
Okay. So
Oh, it's got a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow!
Did they make it?
Jeez.
None of them made it.
That's amazing. Hold on, we gotta draw some
1,
pepperonis.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 3 of them made the toughness. Okay.
Nice.
I don't want a square. Go away. No, I made 2.
And gone. The 2 big uns. Actually, 3 big uns.
Oh yeah.
Hell no. Toughness. Surprisingly, no. Wow.
That's the most efficient AoE I've ever seen in my entire life. Hold on, these are the pepperonis.
The pepperoni.
It took me a while to figure out how to
And-
draw circles.
Last big un. Holy crap, so many enemies!
Do any of the rest of us have AoEs at this point?
I
It may
have
have just been
one.
me and Axiom this entire time.
I have one, but it's unreliable, so I don't really
You
use
mean
that.
Arsenal?
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Whoops.
I
Okay.
have a.
Sorry.
I basically have a flashbang kind of stun AOE.
Perfect.
All right, well, in that case, it is now the
And
little
like I
goon.
said,
it's
retreat.
now
And of course,
Goon's
wave
turn.
everyone else forward.
Yep.
Into the fire, go!
So these guys are going to move forward and they're going to start laying in to these 3. The fighting's looking pretty even now, but they're not going to last too much longer. These guys
Oh no.
are heading off through here. And you guys, what a fun time.
Uh-oh.
I got
Yay!
some measurements now. Da-da-da.
Okay, and you guys down here. So
There.
this one's going to come up here and try and take a swing. Actually, both of these are going to come up and try and take a swing at Scrap.
They're probably gonna hit.
Because why not? And bada
If
bing,
they're
bada
less
boom.
than 12. No, okay.
Clang. DC
All right.
25.
So they both hit because they're above 12. So let's go ahead and roll those toughnesses. First one's good. Second one, oh, I get knocked around a little
All
bit.
right, so you get hit in the face with a fat wrench. Not a fun time.
I actually got hit. I actually took damage. First of many. Let's go.
And arc flash.
Oh, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
These ones that just hit me, these are the ones I saw in the base, right?
Yes.
Fuck.
This one is going to make a special attack on you, but it doesn't know that you're electric, but it's dumb.
It's gonna make a bug zapper.
It probably doesn't hit you anyway, actually.
Nope. My dodge DC is 24.
Whew. So
Wow.
a bunch of tendrils fly on by your head, but they don't manage to connect with anything as you just zip past. This thing seeing that, it's going to be like, how disappointing. It's going to shuffle forward, and it's going to try and stinger you. Let's see what we got here. Yep.
Misses.
Yep.
Can I do my counter?
Yeah, you can't run a miss, right?
It doesn't say. Really, I just my counter is the reaction is if I get touched, basically.
All right, well, you have not been touched.
Okay.
Like, if it makes contact with you in any way.
Okay.
But that dodge, it does not.
That's fine.
Yeah, because you can get hit but not take damage, and then
Yeah. Okay.
The goon. Not the goon!
wow.
Wow.
Did he
I don't
miss?
think I actually think he missed. Let's make sure.
Open one of your 30 character sheets. I should have open
30
right now.
tabs.
I mean, you could write them all down.
Yeah, that doesn't hit. Pathetic. This guy actually manages to bop away. But yeah, that's the quote-unquote ambush that they had for you on behind, which did not end up being too effective.
I got bonked, dude. It was totally effective.
This guy's just gonna, oh, I don't like that. I saw some tongues come out from over there. Yeet! And he's just gonna chop this one in half. Gets got pretty easily. That's really shitty defense. That's, yeah, that's his turn. Axiom. Get into the safety square.
And I'll do a healing touch on Scrap.
All right.
I mean, all right, I'll take it.
Oh, is XCOM on the initiative here?
They're all the minions are lumped in with the adherents.
Okay, fair enough.
Is that nothing?
That's nothing.
Okay, that's fair.
I have to apologize. I've been rolling shitty all day. We played the Tomb of Horrors for 5e in my last game, and I failed
Nice.
4 save. I failed 4 saving throws in a row.
Jesus.
I was a lucky halfling. I rolled 4 saving throws, failed all 4 of them, and died instantly.
Damn.
It's okay.
That's-
I've only taken, like I said, my max or my record for injuries is 9, and I've only taken 1.
Yes. Okay, Arc Flash.
Well, since I got this guy here, I think we need to get rid of him.
He walked right up to you.
Hello, sir.
I think that hit.
I think that may in fact have hit. And that's with a multi-attack and a crit. I'm not-
You know what?
Yeah,
I don't
by
think
the way, did I
Can he
mention
even
I
make
upgraded
it?
my attack to multi-attack?
I'm not gonna roll that. He's just dead. I assume he just explodes. Ugh.
Clear!
Just fry the nerves and just have him collapse into nothing.
And then for my movement, I am
Gone.
zipping on up here. Not all the way, but at least get close enough to be ready to support for my next round.
Nice.
I'd back up one more. Put yourself right there.
Scrap.
Just so you only have. I don't want to punch these guys. You're gonna make me punch these guys.
You don't
Wanna
want to
grab?
punch these. You don't want to punch these nice juicy guys.
I hate these guys.
Grab
Oh my
one guy
God.
and slam him into the other guy.
They both explode.
Oh, right. You might want to get the explosions out of here. That's right.
Okay,
What?
then grab the guy and throw him against the wall over here.
I'll have to make a grab attack, which means I'll have to fatigue myself to make a throw attack. There's a whole thing. Okay, when they punched these guys the last time, was it a big explosion or did it just kind of like pop?
They just kind of popped.
Okay, good. So if I were to, take a guess, other guys behind me probably wouldn't get hit if I popped both these guys.
No.
Okay, good. Well, I'll take the hit. I have a wizard behind me. I'm gonna go ahead and punch the guy straight parallel to me.
All right.
Big punch. Hey, crits.
I don't know if he can actually might be able to make that if he rolls extremely well. Let's see.
We've seen it happen.
It has happened. It's true.
It's not.
And these guys actually have pretty good toughness for minions. No.
Not that one though.
All right. So you take that.
Okay, I can dodge this. I have a chance. I did not dodge it, so I'm going to go ahead and roll my toughness. 2 degrees? Seriously?
2 degrees of pus as this thing crumples in and splatters all over you, burning into your skin. What a
That's so
fun
much
time.
Fucking, I'm just gonna be like, here's let's do this one because it's fucking gross. And I'm also dazed.
Yes,
Is it an
Alright, so-
omnidirectional spray?
it is.
So
But
that
it's,
means
it's something within 5. They are immune to it.
oh, okay.
Oh, that'd be great. Just knock out his. No, that'd be terrible because then he would explode too. All right. Let's just punch the other guy then.
All right, continue on with the multi-attack.
Oh.
I believe that misses. It does.
Yeah.
It manages to catch your hand with its wrench and
It's always
it downwards.
catching my hand every time.
it deflects your hand. Doesn't have the
but
strength.
I think it's better to just catch it, just because it's like, why 15 strength or like 12 strength? How is this happening every time? Damn it!
Yes.
Leverage.
Go ahead, go right ahead.
And all right. So, by the way, these are like cars. They're half cover. So you get you get a +2 to your.
I was thinking to ask, but then I just decided, they're just like bus stops or something. Two of them on the opposite side of the street.
Yeah, no, they're
15
cars.
feet of each other.
So this one on the right is going to heft up its meaty gun arm, and it is going to launch something down right here.
Wait, aren't they on fire?
Aren't
they on fire?
They're standing in fire, and they were just awash with fire. But the rain is keeping the secondary effect from happening. They're still doing the full brunt of the initial flames.
Turn anyway.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was beginning of yours or end of yours or end of theirs.
Yeah. So Arc Flash and Firebrand. This is an area attack, and it is enough to destroy your 2 bits of cover. So I'm going to fire that off.
So I gotta make a dodge roll. I get +5, so that's 24.
All right.
And mine's gonna be 27. Nice.
So that would be what, a 24 DC for toughness?
Yes, 24.
Okay.
All right.
See, if you change dice, the new dice like you.
8, 5.
So that is I believe it's a daze.
22. Yeah, it's just injury in a daze, I think.
Yes.
Is it even a daze? Because that's like 4 points if it's 22.
Why would it be 22?
It's 13 points over 15, and half that is 6, so it goes down to DC 22, right?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot about the your dodge success. I'm not used to you making dodge successes.
I think that's just a damage then at stage 1.
Yes, that's just damage at stage 1 then.
Oof, yeah. Oh, wait, I am vulnerable. I forgot about that.
Oh!
That just makes it easier to hit me, which it already hit me, honestly, I think.
Oh, yeah,
no, I actually managed to barely dodge it. Vulnerable would lower that by 5, so that'd be a full hit then. So, yeah, so I am dazed as well.
Okay.
There we go.